So it is time for our first live training of the new year. I'm going to wait a moment for people to join, and I'm going to grab my comment box and just open it up in a new tab. And so hopefully some of you are going to be joining me live, and then I could see your comments and respond. So let me kind of get that set up as we're waiting for people to come in. All right, awesome. So I'm all set. Happy New Year. It is 2023. Hard to believe, so hard to believe that we are now living in this pandemic for 3 years, close to 3 years. It's crazy. And I just want to take a moment to welcome all of our new members to our family here. And if you're with me, come and please say hello. Oh, hi, Kay. All right, so I'm looking at different places because my comments are over here. Hey, Kay, happy and healthy new year to you as well. I'm so excited that you're here. I'm glad you made it to the training today. I'm eager to hear about your thoughts on the topic today. And Kay, just a side point, mark your calendar Monday when we have our In Circle group call, because we've got a live training coming up. We're talking all about body image on Monday. So try to mark your calendar and be on the call there as well. Okay, so if you're here with me, please say hello. I always like to know and interact with those of you who are here. I know several people had said they were going to be here, so I'm looking forward to having this conversation today. You know, I was talking with somebody earlier today, and they were like, I'm just so tired of diet culture. And I was like, yeah, me too, right? And I do think that more and more people are tired of diet culture. I think that the diet industry is kind of getting the hang of that, because they are really trying to, in their promotional materials, hijack a lot of our intuitive eating anti-diet messages in hopes that they'll kind of reel you in, right? They'll reel you in to say, no, we don't do diets anymore. But in fact, it's a diet. Hi, Louise. Happy New Year to you. Thank you so much for being here. Who else is here? You know, I get so excited when I have people join me. And so today, our topic really is believing in diet culture or believing in yourself. And I know this is a really, really, really big topic, because this first year, where are we today? January 4th, right? So this week, the first week of January, is not, it doesn't fall short on the diet ads that are there. And I know your head is probably spinning. A lot of people tell me their heads are spinning. My head is spinning from seeing all these ads, to be honest with you, right? Hey, Dee, hi, I'm glad you made it, Dee. Thank you so much. Happy New Year. So I'm sure, you know, your head is spinning as well. Diet culture is truly having a field day. And again, what I've shared is that, you know, diet culture really does hijack a lot of the anti-diet and intuitive eating lingo. And you have to really become a very savvy consumer not to fall prey to the marketing gimmicks. And I know, Louise, you've shared on some of my recent posts about, you know, what you've been seeing in terms of the ads, right? And you shared one about a gym, I think you said in one of my posts yesterday, right, Louise? Yesterday or today, about one of my posts, about a post you saw about a gym saying that they're putting out all this extra equipment for January, but by the end of February, that equipment is going to be put back in storage. I mean, if that's not, you know, so horrible, right? Like, so the fitness industry, the diet industry, you know, certainly they are really, you know, they're feeding into the desperation of people who are making these New Year's resolutions. So let's just talk diet culture. Let's just talk about, do we believe in diet culture? Are we allowing ourselves to separate our beliefs and really fight back against diet culture? Are we believing in ourselves? Where is the belief in ourselves? Again, if you're here, come say hello. I love to interact with you. If you're new to this journey, and I do know there are several new people who have joined our group. I've connected with a lot of new people, and they're very, very new to this concept of intuitive eating or even diet culture. I remember many years back, before I even got into intuitive eating, I heard first the words diet culture, and I was like, what does that even mean, right? Basically, and without going too deep into it, is it's a system of beliefs that praises thinness and associates thinness to one's health. And this is the ideology that this is the belief system that just leads society down a very, very dark hole of assumptions. One of which is that you associate or you connect your worth to a number on a scale, right? That your self-worth is dependent on what your weight or your size is. And what happens as a result of that belief is that it causes people to buy into the diet industries, the different products that they push out there, whether it be the fitness industry, whether it be the diet industry, in order for you to really obtain what you believe is, your dream body, or what they promote to you as achieve your dream body. But ultimately, which is really just leads to short-term weight loss, right? You do believe that this will be a forever, but unfortunately it is not. And ironically, the weight that returns, and again, I had this conversation with somebody just earlier today, the weight that returns is more than, they gain back more than they even lost and were higher weight than they started out at, right? And so that what happens is the diet industry just kind of reels you back in with better promises, with more promises, in hopes that, okay, I will do it this time, and it causes you to feel like a failure, but you in fact are not a failure. I'm here to tell you that, so please do know that. Again, if you're here, say hello. Tell me where from in around the world you're joining us from. Always like to know that. So the whole idea really is to tap into a whole new set of beliefs, that are aligned with intuitive eating. And that all really comes down to learning how to trust in yourself again. And we're going to definitely talk more about that. All right, let me go see some of these comments that are here. All right. So I see Kay and Louise and Dee. Okay, who else is here with me? Come say hello. So again, just as a quick summary before we go further, diet culture, number one, a system of beliefs. Number two, praises thinness, associates it to an individual's health. And has those people who are not quote unquote thin enough, who don't meet that societal standard of the thin ideal, assume that they are not healthy and assume that they are not worthy as a human being. And as I've previously spoken about in other live trainings, and certainly is a message that I teach people in my programs, is that, health is not synonymous with weight loss, okay? And it's a really important point that in order to improve your health, you do not have to lose weight. And that is not something that you hear very often in our culture that we live in, nor from physicians and doctors and things of that nature, right? So why is diet culture harmful for you? Again, it leads you to believe that you are less than, that you are not good enough, right? And that if you were just lose weight, you will reach a higher status and have greater respect and be worth more, right? It is putting down certain eating behaviors, and it is, elevating other ones onto a pedestal, right? And so therefore, if you're not eating in a way that diet culture is suggesting you eat, then you feel shame about the food decisions you're making, right? And it leads to a lot of obsessiveness around food, eating, and your body. So tell me, does any of that resonate with you? What is your experience with diet culture? Tell me in the comments. Let's have some conversation about that, because you know what you've experienced, I'm promising you that you're not alone. Everybody else who are here, everybody else in this group have experienced it as well. I just want you to know that. Does that make, things different? Well, it makes it better on this journey, right? Because there's this piece of the journey that is so important, and that's called having self-compassion. Having compassion for yourself, and what is part of self-compassion is knowing you're not alone. Knowing you're not alone in fighting back against diet culture, the harm that diets have caused you. And at the end of the day, one of the things I always share with people is that the diets aren't sustainable. And so, yes, somebody's going to say to me, no, Bonnie, but I did lose weight on X diet. And I say, yes, maybe you did lose weight on X diet, because any diet, if you follow, quote unquote, follow it according to the rules, right? You follow it to a T, is going to, quote unquote, work. Now, we define work in diet culture as losing weight, right? But most of the time, and I'm going to say in 95 to 97% of the time, those results are just not sustainable. Please share what your experience is with that. I know if you're in this group, you have been around the diet block more than once. And if you've been around the diet block more than once, you probably have experienced exactly what I am speaking about. So, comments. Let's make sure my comments are working. Somebody say hello in the comments so I can make sure that my screen hasn't frozen. So let's just see here. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. So diets aren't sustainable, and you realize that it just hasn't worked for you. That's why you're here. But the multi-billion dollar diet industry tries to win you back each and every time. Every time they say you have, quote unquote, failed, and it says, no, it'll work for you this time. We're tweaking it. We're adding a little something to the program, right? And you go back because they're assuring you that this will work this time for you, because we've added an extra level of support. We've added, learning about habit change and psychology of eating. And I'm not saying those things aren't great, because they are, but when those things are coupled with color coding foods, red light, green light, yellow light, or there's lists of foods that you could have or shouldn't have, or have only once a month. These are all rules. And this is just not congruent with the philosophies and beliefs around intuitive eating. So are you believing the diet culture's lies? Are you believing, now that it's January 4th and the diet industry is saying, come back, because we've added this component of intuitive eating, or we've added this component of learning the psychology behind the choices you're making, or we've added this behavioral component, right? Are you believing them that it is no longer a diet? Louise says they're changing terms to not sound like a diet. Exactly. That's exactly what they're doing, Louise. You are a savvy consumer. I know that because you've been in my world for a long time. Maybe I'm rubbing off on you, Louise. I love it. That's right. So you have to be smarter than them. You do not want to fall prey to those beliefs that they're trying to get you to believe. Okay? So important. Okay? I'll tell you that, they'll lure you in January. You may do well, quote unquote, in January, maybe even in February, but by the end of February, you're kind of falling off track. Diet words, diet language, remember that, right? And then it all looks good on paper, right? So when they present this to you, it all looks good on paper, but it proves to be non-maintainable, and then it's a vicious cycle. So everyone aside from Louise, who else has experienced these similar types of things with the diet culture and the diet industry? So let me know if you're on replay, #replay. So are you believing diet culture lies now, this first week, second week, third week, this month of January? Or are you going to start believing in yourself? What does it take to believe in yourself? What are the biggest obstacles for you to begin to cut yourself loose from diet culture? Answer in the comments. I would love to hear. Because what I'm here today to share with you is that you will benefit from a different set of beliefs. To start believing in yourself that you can eat intuitively and you can trust your body. Now, if you say, oh, no, I don't think so, because look at the evidence. The evidence has been that I haven't been able to eat intuitively. I haven't been able to trust my body. Again, that is a side effect of the dieting. The diets have stripped you of trust. And when you don't have trust in yourself, then your belief system is on shaky ground. Because ultimately, all your actions you take are driven by the beliefs you have. Those beliefs you have create the thoughts that you have around that subject. Those beliefs, those thoughts create feelings you have around it, which create the actions you take and then the results that you get. So if those beliefs are rooted in diet culture, because you have been believing in diet culture every single time, because it's not your fault, they are very alluring. Even though last year you realized that it didn't work, all the diets I was on, but now at the end of 2022, you made another resolution to kind of, try it again in 2023, or maybe there's this newer diet that has hit the market with the new, for the new year, but it's really the old diets with new bells and whistles and shiny objects on it, right? You're like, no, maybe your beliefs, your beliefs are rooted in diet culture. Let's change those beliefs, because if you can change those beliefs, your results are going to change. Everything is going to change in a chain-like fashion. So switching, or I should say maybe the word shifting from diet culture, the diet culture system of beliefs, to the intuitive eating system of beliefs is huge. It is a process, right? And the belief is critical because it always dictates everything that happens after that. By the way, not just in food and eating, but in every aspect of your life. So think about other aspects of your life. Think about business. Think about relationships. The beliefs you have ultimately drive the results that you get. If you believe that you will not be able to stop eating if you are not dieting, which is a very big fear of people, granted, I get it, then that is exactly what's going to happen. If you believe that I'll never be able to become an intuitive eater, then you're not going to really have an easy time becoming an intuitive eater. So what are the beliefs that you are holding around your own history? What are the beliefs that you are holding around your own ability? And are you ready to learn to believe in yourself? Are you ready to learn to make a shift in your belief system so you can trust yourself with food and you can trust yourself to make choices that feel good for you? You do not need someone else to tell you what to eat, how much to eat, and when to eat. I promise you don't need that. You may think you do. Now, I will say, I'm not talking about nutrition education. I'm a registered dietitian, nutritionist, my first degree. I'm fully on board with the importance of nutrition and honoring your health. But I'm telling you that you are able to make those decisions to honor your health and well-being. It's just now you don't believe that because you've given away that autonomy to the diets over all these years. So believing that you can trust your body to let you know when you're hungry, when you're full, what foods you want to eat now, what foods feel great in your body, what foods honor your health, believing that you can is the first step in that process, switching your belief system. Believing that you don't need food to cope with different aspects of your life. So more than likely, if you've been a dieter, I'm not going to say across the board, but for the most part, a lot of people who identify as being chronic dieters also identify as using food to cope with various difficult, uncomfortable emotions. What about you? Have you used food for that purpose at some point in your life? Share in the comment yes if it's accurate. If you're on replay, hashtag replay. So if the answer to that is yes, believing that you don't need food to cope with different aspects of your life, with difficult emotions, is a new belief for you, right? And it might be really hard for you to believe that right now, and I totally get that. But it can come. It might be really hard for you to believe right now that you can eat whatever you want when you want. because diet culture has dictated so many rules, and they've stripped you of that belief in yourself that you can make those decisions for yourself. Do you believe that you can stop dieting and learn to trust your body again? I'm so interested to hear. Share with me in the comments. Do you believe that? Do you believe that you are able to truly stop dieting? I know the desire is there. I totally know the desire is there because you're here. You're here with me live. You're watching the replay. You're in the Facebook group. But do you truly believe? So, are you believing, especially this time of year, are you going to believe in the diet culture lies? Are you going to allow the diet culture and their marketing gimmicks to just lure you back in? Or are you going to start to believe in yourself? I hope you're going to do the second choice. You're going to start to believe in yourself. And I know that is hard. I know that is hard. And in case you're all new to me, let me share with you. I did do my little introduction in the beginning, but Bonnie Giller, and I help women stop dieting and learn to trust themselves again, because you were born with that trust. By the way, if you think back to when you were a baby and you were born and you were so happy with your body and jolly and like you didn't have concerns about it and you had trust, right? I do help you get back to that place. It's my joy, it's my passion. Especially, this is the crazy time of year that I'm here trying to support as many people as I can. So, for those of you not familiar, let me just take a moment to let you know that I do have a 24-week coaching program. So it is a 6-month coaching program. And it is designed to help women stop dieting and regain trust with food. So eating is easy, eating is enjoyable, and it is nourishing to your body and your mind. Let me tell you a story. I met with a woman yesterday who had, booked just a consult, a free session, just to talk to me, to say, hey, what are you doing? Can you help me? I really need help. And it was so interesting because throughout the course of our conversation, she was saying, eating is complicated. Eating is not enjoyable anymore. Eating doesn't feel good in her body, right? And I was like, gosh, let's change that, because eating can absolutely be easy. Eating can and should be enjoyable. Food is there for us to have pleasure, and eating is and can be nourishing to your body as well as your mind. So that is my focus. My coaching program called Whole Body Trust. Let me just tell you that it works. Here's why it works. It works because it gets to the root of the problem, which is the underlying messages and beliefs around food, eating, and your body that keep you cycling through diets and chasing a smaller body, because it's not about the food. Now, very often these messages and these beliefs go back to childhood, right? So think back to when you were growing up. What were the messages you received? What did you hear over and over again, right? And add on to that now the beliefs from diet culture that you were fed, right? The work I do is so different from everything that you've tried, because it's designed to give you back food and body autonomy. What does that even mean? Food and body autonomy. It is your birthright to make your own decisions around food. It is your birthright. When you diet, you give away that autonomy. Well, no, my work is helping you get back that autonomy around food and your body. So you get to make decisions about your body, nobody else. It puts you in the driver's seat in making food and nutrition decisions for yourself with full trust. Now, you'll say, I don't really trust myself to make these decisions now, and I get it. But as we work through this process, you will learn to have that trust back. You will trust your mind. My program is built on 3 pillars. I'm not going to go into that right now. If you're interested, totally let me know. We can talk about it. But you change your belief system, so you begin to believe your thoughts and you trust your own mind. You trust your own hunger, you trust your own food choices. So you are totally back in the driver's seat and making those decisions. Now, yes, there are other programs you might have tried or that you might be contemplating trying and that work on mindset. But at the same time, they're giving you lists of foods to eat or not to eat. They require perhaps tracking, their color coding, right? Again, that is dieting. That is the sneaky diet culture making you think it's not dieting, sort of like what Louise said, right? And they're packaging it differently, but it's still dieting. And that is stripping you of the trust that I'm actually helping you get back. Now, throughout this process, I support you in nourishing yourself from a place of self-care as you learn to trust yourself, because you may say, but I don't know how to eat if I'm not dieting. And that's a very big fear for people. So yes, when I'm working with my clients, we actually put some type of a nutrition cast, if you will, in place. Why is that important? Because in order for you to change your thoughts, in order for you to really be able to work on your belief system and to really ignite your hunger signals and your fullness signals, you've got to nourish your brain. You've got to provide fuel. So that is super important, right? So trust, belief, it really all starts with beliefs. It just does. So where are you at with this? Are you a believer? Are you believing the lies and the messages of diet culture? Or are you desiring to begin to believe in yourself? My bet's on you. I want you to begin to believe in yourself. Post some comments or questions in the comment box, if you will. So, just love to know if you're resonating with this material or not. Again, it's the new year. Don't fall prey to those diet culture beliefs. You have it within you to start to trust yourself with food again. You have it within you to believe in yourself, to change those beliefs. And like I posted on social media earlier today, if you're not friends with me on Facebook, you probably want to request friends, because I do post daily some really great messages there. And one of the messages today that I posted was, I don't remember verbatim, but it was around the idea that no one said it's easy. No one said it's easy, but it is so worth it. Recovering from dieting, changing your belief system, believing in yourself and regaining trust in yourself. Listen, I'm not going to tell you the work is, a walk in the park. If it was, I'd be worried, but it is so worth it, people. It is so, so worth it. So I just wanted to really let you know that I believe in you. Now I need you to believe in yourself. Okay? If you want more information on my 24-week coaching program, just hit me up in the DMs or post a comment below this video. I am offering a special enrollment rate now for the first 5 people who enroll in the program. So all you have to do is just meet me in the DMs, tell me you want to learn more about it. We can schedule a quick complimentary time to chat to see if it's a right fit for you. But if you're feeling it, and if you're just done with diets and you just want to begin to believe in yourself again, I can absolutely help you. Okay, so I've got a couple of slots left in my calendar, maybe 4 slots, I think, for tomorrow. So DM me, tell me you want to learn more about my 24-week coaching program to help you believe in yourself and trust yourself again and become an intuitive eater. So eating is easy, it's enjoyable, it's nourishing, and we'll get you on the calendar. We'll figure out a time that we can meet to get you started. Again, a special enrollment rate for the first 5 enrollees after this live training. All right, so final wrap up. Do you believe in diet culture's misaligned messages, or are you believing in yourself? Which one do you vote for? What are you going to be doing? If you're on shaking ground and you're feeling unsure, that's okay. That is what you might be feeling before a breakthrough. It's really scary to give up dieting. It's really scary, but you can't do it halfway. You can't say, yes, I'm no longer dieting, but not really jump in with 2 feet to this process. You just got to jump in, take a leap of faith, and just, finally just do it for yourself. And I'm here to help you and support you each and every way. All right. Again, every Wednesday we do a live training. The time does change based on when I have client calls, but I always post in advance, so you will have, a reminder of when I'm going to be going live. And final thoughts again. If you're interested in learning more about my program, just hit me up in the DM or comment below this video that you want more information. There's no commitments or anything like that. There's no pressure. It's just, do you want to learn more about it? I'm happy to have a conversation with you, okay? All right. Happy New Year again for everyone. Thanks for those who are attended live, and for those listening on replay, post your comments, hashtag replay, and I will see you in the group. Don't forget, use this group to post thoughts, questions, and certainly celebrations. Happy New Year, everybody, and I will see you real soon.